Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Breakaway with Tom Chorske. I'm Audra Martin. The Minnesota Wild went into this one in Tampa Bay with a chance to extend their season-best 7-game point streak. Not only did they do that, they did it in a huge way. A 3-0 shutout victory against the best team in hockey. It's the first time this season the Tampa Bay Lightning have been shut out in regulation loss. And when you look at that team and you look at all the weapons, you know the Minnesota Wild are pretty pumped about this big 2-point victory.
Yeah, on the back end you got Devan Dubnyk, who pitches the shutout. On the front end, you got Zucker, who gets a hat trick. But in between there, a lot of hard work went on. Eriksson Ek had 7 shots on goal and a breakaway. We saw Jordan Greenway have another good game. Kevin Fiala was very poised with the puck and deked out many of the Lightning defenders and stood all alone with Vasilevsky. Yeah. But the Wild turned in just a great performance, a great effort. They didn't go to the penalty box very often, but when they did late in the game, they had to be very good on the penalty kill. All in all, a huge win when you go against a team like Tampa Bay Lightning, who have such a strong season going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best teams we've seen in a long time in the league, and they are very impressive. But tonight's the Wild that come out on top with 3 goals on 30 shots. They do go 0 for 4 on the power play here tonight, but of course they didn't need the power play to get it done because they, like you said, a huge penalty kill going 2 for 2 against the #1 power play in the league. So overall, a great win for the Minnesota Wild and a lot to like from the head coach.
For whatever reason, we had some tremendous energy today, and I thought we pressured them all night long. And when you pressure any team, it's tough to make plays. As great as this team is, and believe me, they're great. I thought we were not only forechecking, but we were coming back really hard. We stripped pucks, and then I thought it was Doobie's best game of the year.
So this Florida road trip continues tomorrow night. It's a quick turnaround for the Wild as they'll take to the ice to face the Florida Panthers tomorrow at 5:30 right here on Fox Sports North. And this is a Florida team that's probably going to be very anxious to get back in the win column. They are winless in their last 6 games, and they'll be taking on a team that's very anxious to keep their hot streak going. So could be a good one tomorrow night as long as the Minnesota Wild came out with that same energy that Bruce talked about.
Yeah, and Minnesota should be encouraged by the fact that Florida played in Boston tonight, so they're going back-to-back as well. But you heard Bruce Boudreau say, for some reason we had energy. And I think this team has a good record on the road since January. Mm-hmm. And there's times when things at home are chaotic. I know there's a lot of babies being born, and
a lot of wild babies.
You go on the road, and sometimes you got friends coming to hang out with you and go out for dinner after, and you're making all these plans. You go on the road, and you're just focused. And under the circumstances, they have to win these games. I think that has something to do with how they're playing. You sometimes simplify your game, and you got less distractions, and all you can do is do your job on the road, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's working quite nicely for this team. We'll see if they can keep it going tomorrow against the Florida Panthers. In the meantime, it's a huge one here tonight for the Minnesota Wild. Things are certainly turning around in a big way. We'll see if they can add to it tomorrow. For Tom Chorske, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on Wild Breakaway.